Mornings with Meg. About a decade ago, I was working in a graduate program getting my master's degree in communication, and I chose to study something called the Superwoman phenomenon. Now, at the time, I didn't even have kids. My husband wasn't even my boyfriend at the time, but I was intrigued by what mass media says to women about this phenomenon or myth that we have to do it all. Meaning, balance work and family and the needs of our family members and taking care of ourselves and everything that goes along with those things, and do it all with a smile on our face. And yet, if we can't do that, or we feel like we're not doing any of those well or one of those well, then we must be a failure. This superwoman phenomenon, sometimes called superwoman syndrome or superwoman myth, it's a lie that our society pushes forward day in and day out. And it can be really dangerous. I'll tell you what, my thesis, when I was studying this, I had to look at what these messages say, and if in fact mass media really does put forth this type of messaging. And even at that age, I was shocked to find that magazines, all different types of women's magazines, all agreed a woman should be able to do it all. As long as she's organized, she can do it. What? And I remember thinking, oh yeah, like a crock pot is gonna fix all of my life's worries. I just gotta be organized, right? No, absolutely not. So as the years have gone on and I've become a wife and a mother, and I have balanced, I'm balancing more and more things and people's needs and activities as time goes on, I realize how dangerous this is to women. And I'll tell you why. Norman Vincent Peale once said, "What the mind is bombarded with, the mind will accept." Well, in my research, I know, and numbers vary depending on what type of research, what you're looking at, but generally speaking, let's just say if the average American intersects 3,000 to 5,000 messages a day, so like persuasive type messages a day, especially now with, messaging online and via our phones, how much of that, of the 3,000 to 5,000, is aimed at women to look thinner, look younger, do more, be more fun, look sexier, have a better organized or well-run home? I mean, just think about it. You don't believe me? The next time you're at the grocery store or Target, look at the magazines as you're checking out and look at the headlines, because they're all trying to get you to look better, look thinner, whatever it might be, do more, have more fun, because they're all pushing forth this superwoman phenomenon. Now, what we have control over is we can understand that messaging, because then we can choose what we want to bombard our minds with. And as Christian women, we have the best resources that we can bombard our mind with. So maybe it's daily reflections that we read every day to really set our mind at a peace that only comes from God, not from our world. So you want to ask yourself, what TV shows do you watch? What music do you listen to? What books do you read? Who do you hang out with? What's the messaging that you are getting day in and day out? Because once we can really identify where the messages are coming from, we can control what we let into our minds. Because what the mind is bombarded with, the mind will accept. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to settle to accept the standard that society around me is pushing on me. I know that I am a daughter of God, and I know where my priorities lie. Now, through the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it might get a little crazy and the messaging is coming at me and I don't even realize it. And that too is why it's dangerous, because it comes to us in a stealth kind of way. So I'm not saying, I want to make this very clear, I'm not saying that we never listen to anything that might not have a great message. I'm just saying, let's make sure that we're choosing it and that we understand the purpose. So, for example, I like to go running. And when I go running, I often listen to music. Now, the kind of music I listen to while working out needs to be upbeat, like dance music, we'll say, right? So a lot of the messaging in that type of music is not always positive. It's not music I would let my daughter or sons listen to, right? But I know the purpose it serves. So I might listen to Britney Spears, but I am not going to let that messaging, I know the purpose of it in my life. So in the same day, it might be Britney Spears and the Bible, but I am choosing what messaging that I'm letting bombard my mind. So next time you're feeling stressed or you're feeling worried or just overwhelmed, stop. Think about what is the next thing your mind really needs to be flooded with. Encouraging messages of hope that we know is promised to us by the peace that we receive from having a faithful relationship with Christ. Where can you get that type of messaging? There's a lot of different options, especially nowadays. Even if we go to get music online, there's podcasts and Christian music that has an uplifting message that supports us and encourages us. So again, I'm not saying never listen to music or watch TV or movies or have conversations with people that don't always uplift you. No, I'm being realistic. I'm just saying, make sure we understand where that messaging is coming from that pushes forth that superwoman myth. Because it's a lie, and we don't have to place value on how good we are as a mom or a wife or just a woman in society based on society's messages to us. We know where our center comes from, and that is through our Christian faith. So, the bottom line, choose messages with purpose, and think about how you can even counteract some of that negative messaging that we do get from mass media. How the encouraging and messages of hope can actually lead you to a much more peaceful state of being, just by identifying what it is you truly want to bombard your mind with. Until next time.